Hi, my name is Edita and I will be presenting on Go Talk Now Lite as well as Touch Chat. I had two cases. I'm going to begin with Go Talk Now. My case for that was a 5-year-old boy with autism. For the Go Talk Now, it was specified to use 3 communication displays. And for my case study, I was asked to use 9 location display. So in total for mine, I would have 9 plus 9 plus 9, that being 27 boxes. So let's begin. My specific client was able to read sight words, so it chose some sight words that I think would be helpful to him. It also stated that he had a difficulty transitioning from activities within the classroom. That was my main concern that I wanted to focus on, so I put "it's time to" at the very top because I think that will help the teachers in his school environment, help him move from one activity to the next the best. So let's begin with that.
It's time to.
It's time to. And I have 3 boxes just to make it easy for him. Finish up. So say they're working on a specific activity. I don't have to put the name of the activity because there's not enough boxes. I only have 9 boxes in this display. So it's finish up. It could be with any activity. It could be eating. It could be playtime. It could be nap time. After we finish up, what we do is we look at a chart. The idea with this is because I didn't have enough boxes here, I'm hoping the teachers within the classroom will create a chart, a movable chart that they would put on the board or on the wall for Jake that he can look at every time when it's time to transition. That way the chart is interchangeable and it could be another aid to help him move along his day and help him with his transitions. So once he finishes up, him and the teacher take a look at the chart. After they take a look at the chart and he figures out what activity is next, he would press start activity. So that's my solution for his transition difficulty. I thought this was the best way to address the issue while still not having an overwhelming amount of boxes. So let's go back to the main screen. So it's time to whenever he wants to transition. He also used a PEX board before. In the PEX board, we would do I want, and then he would get a picture that he likes and then hand it to the clinician or any person he's communicating with. I wanted to set a familiar thing here on the board. So I do have a I want button. That way I think he will understand the concept. It might be a little bit easier for him to learn. So he presses the I want button and automatically it goes to some of the main things he might want. With children his age, he's 5 years old. We do not want him going to the bathroom. Or we want him going to the bathroom. We don't want him having an accident. So that's why I still chose bathroom as the first thing. That way he can quickly get to it just 2 clicks. And then I have 2 categories, snacks and toys, which are some of the things in the way I viewed him that he might ask for. So he might ask for food and he might ask for toys, which would probably be the things he looks forward to the most in class. So if he presses snacks, it has an expanded option and all the purple pictures would fall under the category of snacks. A snack could be water or juice, depending on what's in the class that day. It could be a sandwich. This stands for just the main meal they're having that day or that he has in his lunchbox, and fruit. So just a really quick picture pointing to help the teacher understand if he's thirsty, if he wants a bigger meal, or if he wants something small. Let's go back. So I want. And if he doesn't choose snack, if he chooses toy, he can click on that. And then in my head, I pretend that these are his 3 favorite things. He loves Play-Doh because a lot of children who are autistic love sensory motor activities. So I put Play-Doh in here. Sometimes children who are autistic, they fixate on certain things. In my case, I pretend that Jake fixates on cars. I know some kids fixate on trains or something else. So let's say cars, that's one of his favorite toys, and markers. He likes drawing. So I put these 3 things here. In the case he wants to request something, he can request his 3 favorite things. Once he gets better with his communication board, we can add more categories. But because for now he's only using a 9 location display with 3 communication displays, I just limited it to his favorite things as I would imagine them to be. Okay, so we went over it's time to help him transition. I want to help him transition his knowledge from PECs and apply it here. Another thing I think that's important for him to be able to communicate is how he feels, because he might have difficulty since he is nonverbal.
I feel.
So we go to I feel, and I have 3 categories not to overwhelm him. We have happy, sad, and angry. I chose to use the faces of a real boy, even though they're a little creepy, especially this one, because I think they would help him understand the emotions of his own face and the emotions of other kids better than, let's say, a smiley face. So that's why I chose these. And I just have 3 emotions. Once he gets better, more emotions could be introduced if he's able to use maybe a screen with more location, maybe more buttons. So that's for his emotions. And I think it's important so he's using this device to socially communicate with his peers and his teachers. So I made another button actually for Miss Emily, because since he is talking, I pretend that Miss Emily is his teacher. So here, if you click on Miss Emily, here's some of the things he would want to communicate. I'm done. So if he's eating, if he's doing an activity, if he's just done, and if he needs to get the paperwork or whatever he's doing out of his way, he can say, I'm done. He can say more time if he doesn't want to finish the activity. Instead of being angry, he could just say more time. Maybe they can give him a few more minutes. And he can also say need a break in case he feels like he can't handle what's happening. He can communicate that he just needs to go sit in a quiet zone maybe, so he can say need break. If we go back, so that's what he can communicate with Miss Emily. He also can answer yes or no questions asked of him. He can say yes, he can say no, he can say help. Also, because he's autistic, I pretended that he's sensitive to loud sounds. So just in his case, I put too loud here. If he's getting overwhelmed, he could say too loud, and maybe he could be led into a quieter environment, or his classmates could be quieted down. Since I covered some of the most basic communication of needs, because in my case, I do want him to practice just socialization with other people. So if he's handed something, he can use his button to say thank you. And I would imagine this would be a continuation with what his family does at home with him. If he hands his mom something, or his dad or his family members, they can say thank you. So it's something he hears, and it's something he can practice as well. So even though he can't say thank you, I felt that it might be important to practice it, so he knows, because it's also one of the things I think every little kid practices. Every child is taught to say thank you after they hand something. So I just wanted to put that button on here for him so he can practice just his pragmatics a little bit. So this is page 1. So if you click on these yellow ones, they will lead you to another page. The blue buttons don't lead you to another page. That's how I color-coded these. So he knows if he clicks on any of the yellow, he'll get a different page. If he clicks the blue, nothing will happen. So we'll just say it. Okay, and if he clicks any of the yellows, it leads him to page 2, which otherwise is not accessible. If he slides, he goes right away to page 3, where he could, without saying I want, I need, he can directly say fruit, sandwich, water, or any of these things. I put them on the back page because I do want him to press these first and then pop over to here to practice his kind of sentence building and building his syntax a little bit.
It's time to. I want.
So just an example of how this would work.
I feel.
So these 3 lead him to page 2, which he can't. Oh, I'm sorry. So the first 3 buttons lead him to page 2, which he can't access without pressing them. So this helps him build his sentences a little bit better. So he can't just say angry. He has to say I feel, I feel, and then he has to go to angry. That encourages him to build sentences and practices syntax. But if he needs something urgently, or if he doesn't want to build a sentence, he could access some of his favorite things, especially I need a break or snack or water, which are some of the important things. So yeah, this is the board that I built for him. And I'm going to do the other app in a different video. Thank you.